Robert. Good morning. It's nice to meet you.
Good morning. It's nice to meet you too.
How are you doing today?
I'm alright. I've been better though.
I'm sorry to hear that. I really hope that we can get you feeling better soon. I see here that you're referred to me because you've been experiencing some trouble with anxiety. How do you feel about being here today?
I guess I just feel embarrassed. Like, I never thought I would have to talk to someone like you about this, but my mom thought that this would help, so here I am.
Well, I want to assure you that there's really nothing to be ashamed of, and it sounds like your mom has your best interest in mind. Is this the first time that you've experienced problems like this?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just recently graduated high school, and I'm taking college classes now. I'm feeling extremely anxious about making friends there, and it's just affecting my schoolwork and my sleep, too.
Alright, so you're nervous about making friends at your new school, and that's having an effect on your performance and on your sleep. Have you ever experienced problems like this before?
I think so, yeah. I mean, I guess I've always been kind of introverted, but I had at least 2 good friends in my old school, and you could say I was more comfortable there.
That's understandable. Change can be difficult. Can you tell me about a time recently that you were experiencing anxiety?
Sure. Well, I'm in this introduction to math class, and we were assigned this partner project. So I asked my class if he wanted to be my partner, and he said yes. So when we finally got together to work on it, his part was completely wrong. But I didn't even try to correct him because I didn't want him to think I was being a control freak, and I wanted him to like me.
I see. So is that why you reported that your anxiety has been affecting your schoolwork?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I just really wanted to make friends. And because I want to fit in so badly, it's difficult for me to feel like myself around people. I'm shy and I'm worried about what other people will think of me. I'm trying to maintain my GPA, but I feel like I'm not performing up to my usual standards. And because I constantly sit in class wondering what people will think of me if I talk too much, or if I get all the answers wrong, or even if I get them right, like, I don't want them to think I'm a know-it-all. I'm just so concentrated on that, I barely even pay attention to the lectures anymore.
Okay, so there are a few things going on here. You're really concerned about what your peers will think of you, and that's starting to have an effect on your actions.
Okay, yeah, right. I want to do well academically, but I can't seem to concentrate on my work because I'm so concerned with how other people will judge me.
I can see how that could be problematic. What goals would you like to achieve by coming to therapy?
I'm not really sure. I haven't thought about it that much, to be honest.
Well, that's all right. Let's just take a second to think about it. Ideally, what do you want to get out of our sessions together?
I guess I just want to make friends. So I was hoping you could help me learn to be less anxious in social situations. I would also like to be able to get more sleep. I think both of those issues are affecting my schoolwork, which is important to me.
Okay, so just to be clear, you would like me to work with you on reducing your anxiety, specifically your social anxiety, and helping you get more sleep.
Yeah, I guess if I had goals, those would be my goals.
Right, and you hope that by working towards these goals that it will have a positive effect on your academics and on your social life?
Yeah, I mean, I feel discouraged that those aspects will improve, especially my social life. But yeah, I hope for those things.
Alright, well, establishing clear goals is really important. That way we know what we want to work towards. I would like to go back and ask you about something that you mentioned earlier. If you aren't participating verbally in class, is that having a direct effect on your grades?
I mean, yeah, so everyone at school is required to take this public speaking course to graduate. And my advisor enrolled me in the course because she said there was an unexpected opening, and because the course is in such high demand, it's normally hard to get into. So last week, we were supposed to give a 10-minute persuasive speech on a topic of our choice. Naturally, I chose my favorite TV show, Game of Thrones. I even had the speech memorized, but on my way to class, I started thinking about having to speak in front of everyone, and I hate to admit it, but I kind of freaked out and ditched class. Now I'm trying to work with my professor to see if I can make the assignment up. I told him that I got sick right before, so I didn't have to come.
Okay, so when you say you freaked out, can you be more specific? Like, what exactly were you experiencing?
I mean, like for instance, I got really hot and sweaty, especially my hands. I got like clammy and shaky. I just started thinking about how everyone would be staring at me, and I didn't want people to think that I was stupid or that I looked like a weirdo or something like that.
Mm. Okay, so it sounds like you're just really concerned with how your peers will think about you and view you. Like, you're afraid they're going to stare at you and that they're going to think you're a weirdo. It just really sounds like a lot of stress is occurring because of these thoughts.
Yeah, I would say that it is.
How do you normally feel after situations like this occur?
I mean, I just feel like everyone else is normal, and I'm not normal at all.
Okay, well, I think now would be a good time to point out that your negative automatic thoughts are having an effect on your behaviors. In clinical practice, we refer to these negative automatic thoughts as cognitive distortions. Our thoughts have a significant effect on our behaviors.
Okay, I kind of understand, I guess.
Okay, so in simpler terms, there are these errors in human thought and in human thinking that reinforce negative emotions. And one common form of cognitive distortions is this idea of all or nothing thinking. When someone's thinking in all or nothing terms, they view their situation in two extremes. So, like, everything is either black or white, and there's nothing in between. In your specific case, you seem to think that, like, everyone is normal and you're not.
I mean, yeah, I do think that sometimes, but that could be an exaggeration.
Everyone gets nervous sometimes. I'm sure you are not the only person who was anxious before giving their speech the other day. Jumping to conclusions and mind reading are additional forms of cognitive distortions. You said earlier that you didn't want to correct your partner or tell him that his work was wrong because you were afraid that he would think you were controlling.
Yeah.
Assuming that you know how people will think or how they'll react based on limited evidence reinforces your negative thoughts.
That's kind of starting to make more sense, I guess.
So let's stay with this example for a minute.
Okay.
What if we looked at it differently? Like, what if you hadn't assumed that he would think you were controlling and you'd helped him revise his work? What other outcomes might have occurred?
If I think about it, I guess he might have been happy to learn the right process involved in actually solving the problem. And he will need to know how to do it for upcoming tests anyway, so...
Right. So your partner might have been thankful that you, just thankful for your help and grateful that you were able to explain the correct process involved in solving that problem.
Yeah. Now that you pointed out, I guess if I really was doing something wrong, I probably would have wanted him to tell me.
Okay. Do you have any specific questions about cognitive distortions? I don't want to leave you confused on the topic.
I mean, no, not that I can think of at the moment. I guess I think it might be hard for me to recognize when I am having these distortions, or to just identify that I'm convincing myself of something and that it might not be happening.
That's a normal concern. It will take time to master, but together we can work on reconstructing your thoughts, and soon you'll be able to identify these cognitive distortions on your own. I can also help introduce some techniques that will help you challenge these negative thoughts.
Yeah, that's good. And it actually makes sense. It makes me feel hopeful. I just don't want to feel like this anymore. Or I guess, the correct way of saying it is I don't want to think like this anymore.
I also want to touch on the aspect of your sleep. Sleep and a structured routine are really important to maintaining your health and well-being, and they're honestly essential to improving your mental health. You've told me that your anxiety is having an effect on your sleep patterns. Can you tell me, in greater detail, how your sleep is being disturbed?
Yeah, I guess the main problem I'm having is just falling asleep. I'll often lay awake at night, and I can't relax. You could say my mind won't shut down?
Many individuals who experience stress and anxiety, they deal with similar sleep problems. When this happens, like when you can't fall asleep, what do you deal with?
I mean, like, I kind of just lay there and I'm thinking about my day. Normally, I'll replay situations in my head and I'll think about how dumb I looked or acted. Like, I'm kind of a critic of myself. Sometimes I worry about what I have to do tomorrow, especially on nights before I have to do something big. Like, for example, the night before I had to give that speech, I barely got any sleep at all because I was up all night.
Did you have any, like, of these sleep problems before moving to your new school?
If I'm thinking about it, not to the extent that I do now, no. Sure, every now and then I had some issues falling asleep, but nothing I dealt with before compares to this. Like, my thoughts just make me restless. Sometimes they can escalate from just daily worries to real fears. Like, I think about my future, or I know that if I don't learn how to be normal and make friends now, I'll be lonely forever.
So, that thought is an example of a catastrophizing distortion. Like, it's a faulty negative thought that is affecting the way that you're interacting with your environment. You're saying that if you don't make friends soon, that the result will be permanent and unbearable. Just because you feel lonely now doesn't mean that you will always feel lonely. Like, earlier you mentioned that you had some pretty good friends at your old school. Did you feel lonely then?
Not really. I didn't feel like as isolated as I do now, if that makes sense.
So, in your own opinion, if things have worsened since then, is it possible that things could get better?
I suppose that's possible. Sure.
So do you agree that it's reasonable to believe that in the future you will again feel accepted and less lonely?
I mean, I guess that's a realistic assumption. I mean, if things have changed for the worse, then why can't they change for the better?
By challenging this misconception, I think a lot of pressure will be taken off your shoulders. Like, relationships are complicated and they're complex and they take time to develop.
Yeah, I mean, that fear has been really weighing on me. You're right there. Nothing disastrous is going to happen if I don't make friends by, like, tomorrow.
So that's a more optimistic outlook. I want to learn a little bit more about your sleeping situation. Do you spend a lot of time in your bed when you're not trying to fall asleep?
Could you be more specific? Like, what do you mean exactly?
Sure. Like, do you do other activities like reading or watching TV in your bed?
Yeah, I mean, all the time I have a lap desk at home so I can do my homework and play card games. I also eat dinner in my bed sometimes. I'll often cook something to eat and then just chill in my bed and multitask by watching Netflix or playing video games.
So, I want to challenge you to not get into your bed unless you're getting ready to go to sleep. When you do other activities in your bed throughout the day, you disassociate your bed with the act of sleeping.
Okay, I mean, I guess I can try that. I have a beanbag I like sitting in, so I can try to spend more time in that instead of my bed.
Okay. I'm curious to know how often you exercise.
I mean, in high school I used to run cross country, but I haven't been really working out lately.
Okay, well, exercise has been proven to help reduce the amount of time it takes for a person to fall asleep, and it has also been proven to improve the quality of your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I recommend that you start trying to work out again, maybe like 4 times a week. And on the days that you work out, I'd really like you to try and notice if there are any changes in your sleep patterns versus the days when you don't work out.
I think that's a good idea. I used to really feel good after running, but I don't really know why I haven't been in a while.
Okay, in future sessions, I really want to work with you on some other relaxation techniques like meditation and breath control. But it looks like we're running out of time for today. So I'm wondering, are you interested or would you like to continue sessions with me? Like, I'd like to schedule another appointment with you where we can discuss in further detail the challenges that you've raised today. And I believe I can share some techniques with you that you would really benefit from and that would help you achieve the goals that we established.
I actually think I would really like that, to be honest.
Okay, I think you would also really profit from weekly sessions.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm free most afternoons after, I think, 4:25.
Okay, well, if you stop by our front desk on the way out, our secretary Rachel would be happy to help plan a time that works well with your schedule.
Cool, thanks. I may need a reminder, too.
All right, well, until our next session, I would really like you to work on a few things. To help you identify and challenge these cognitive distortions, I would like you to keep a cognitive journal. And that way, in our next session, we can analyze your journal entries together. I would also like to give you this handout about cognitive distortions and cognitive reconstructing.
Awesome. Thanks. I may need a reminder.
Okay, and to help you relax and clear your mind at night before you go to bed, I would really like you to only be in your bed when you're wanting to go to sleep.
Okay.
To work out like 4 times a week
Like
for
you said
probably
earlier?
about 30 minutes at least.
Okay.
And then I would also like you to try to establish some type of schedule, like getting ready for bed, like at the same time, like a routine that you're trying to follow each night.
I really think I could handle those tasks. I feel like they might really help me.
Okay, well, it was wonderful to meet with you, and I really hope I get to see you again soon.
Thanks. Have a good rest of your day.
Bye, Edward.